have put in place the following: hand washing basins and running water. We have marked social distances spaces in all buildings. We have put up signages for COVID-19. We have operationalized the use of thermoguns. We continually sensitize staff and students. We have also been able to fumigate the whole institution, buildings, and vehicles. And we have also conducted the Mosoriot Sub-County Hospital for services in the event of COVID-19 suspect for testing and isolation. Students' enrollment have increased from 55 last year to 255 this year. Our postgraduate program is also growing. We prepared reports to the Commission for University Education and KSUC Council on our preparedness to resume face-to-face learning. Similarly, we presented our proposal to the University of Nairobi Senate on our proposed face-to-face resumption of studies. We are grateful, sir, to them all for the support accorded to KSUC during these challenging times. Availability of adequate on-campus accommodation is another challenge we are facing. As we have therefore requested students, staff, and the community to join hands in this to address this challenge. We had a meeting with local investors in the housing sector on the 7th of October 2020, which has encouraged the investors to venture into putting up accommodation units with a view of accommodating students in the future. Meanwhile, students have been encouraged to find alternative housing outside the college premises with the assistance of our management and guided by the Commission for University Education guidelines on hostels, since with COVID-19, we could only host 70 students. I thank the students for their demonstration of maturity and understanding during these unprecedented times. In conclusion, I take this opportunity to thank the Nandi County Government, Governor, and all leaders for the unswerving material and social support to KSUC, which gives us hope for prosperity and posterity. I also thank the parents, sponsors, guardians, and above all, the KSUC staff for their commitment and sacrifice to serve. Keep safe social distance, wear masks, and sanitize. Wash your hands always. God bless you. I thank you. At this point, our chief guest, allow me to invite the Member of Parliament for Tindred, Honorable Melly, to also address this gathering and to invite our representative of the governor, the Deputy Governor, Dr. Cheruiyot. Thank you.
Thank you, the Principal Professor Gideon Misoi. Our Vice Chancellor, Professor Stephen Kiama, the Chairman of the Council, Professor Ngala, Governor, who's represented by Dr. Yulita Cheruiyot, members of the County Assembly, leaders, professors who are here, and students. Good morning. Good morning once again. Yes. First of all, let me thank the university, through the Office of the Vice Chancellor, for inviting us as leaders to come and grace this occasion. I want to give, on behalf of members of parliament who are here, many of them are very busy. You know, today is Friday. The local member of parliament, Honorable Kogo, has just called me and gave his apologies because he's very committed somewhere, professor, and I know he has a lot of support for this university. All the other members of parliament also, we have been working together to ensure that this university moves on. I don't know if we have members of county assemblies who are here. If anyone? If none, I just want to give my remarks. First of all, I want to say thank you, University of Nairobi, for accepting to mentor this institution. We are not taking it for granted. We as a leadership from this particular region, we are very proud of you. That we chose University of Nairobi because it is a premier university, the best university in East and Central Africa, and one of the top 10 universities in Africa. So students in Koitaleel who are actually students of University of Nairobi, by extension, because this is your constituent college, Professor, we are saying thank you so much. Professor Gisoy and the chairman of the council, I know you came here with no students. You just came here yourself with a few staff around 2 or 3 years ago. But today, we have a community known as Koitaleel Samoei University College. We credit Gideon, Professor, for the good work, for the good start. It isn't easy to start an institution. And for your information, I've been a chair of education for many years. And I know a number of universities that have been started that they have not picked up. You are actually very privileged to have had a very focused leadership through the professor and the council led by Professor Ngala. As we speak today, a number of smaller universities that were started with Koitaleel have not had the number of students that are here today. I've seen the college, I've seen the infrastructure, very humble, but quality work that has been done around here. I want to say as a leadership, we are very happy for that. On the same note, as a community of Nandi County, we are looking forward to making this one of the best universities in this region. And we as a leaders, I know the aim and the aspirations of the university. And some of the founding dons who are here today, I've seen Professor Tanui, whom we did a lot of work together, know that we need to have a collegiate system. As a leadership, we are going to assist to ensure that all the 6 constituencies are going to have campuses of Koitaleel Samoei University. And that is a very critical part. And I know Koitaleel Samoei, the mentor University of Nairobi, is actually based on a collegiate system. So get assured, Professor, most of what we are going to do as a leadership is to provide land, to provide the necessary or the resources that you need so that you pick up. I want to thank the family so much, the Samoei family, for the good work. And I want to say, Koitaleel Samoei, I've seen your logo. And the logo has the lion, the symbol of that family. That is very good. It shall forever be remembered for generations to come that there was a leader in this region who fought for justice, for freedom, for fairness, and for the well-being of the people. So you as students today, you are most privileged to have been the pioneer students of an institute, of an institution that is actually talking of inclusivity, courage, fairness, and the need to serve humanity without exclusion. I heard you in your speech, especially on the issue of the poem that was here. You talked very well, and it showed the kind of students that we have today, that you are actually mirrored in the name of Koitaleel Samoei. Pongezi wanafunzi. You've done a good poem before us. This actually is a reminder that as we sit today here, we are about 200 students. A handful number of professors and lecturers before us. One time I visited Harvard University, which was started in 1600 in the US. And when it was started, the founder, John Harvard, said this, that I have established an institution that its ramifications shall be felt beyond himself, beyond the US, and even in the world to come. That was 1600 years ago. That was 1600. 400 years later, every Kenyan who is here today talks of, I've been in Harvard, I'm a graduate of Harvard School, I'm this of Harvard. What am I telling you? You are pioneer students of Koitaleel Samoei University. Do not look at down upon yourself and say, we are not going to make it. From this group of pioneer students, I expect renowned professors, renowned researchers, renowned scholars. If you look at the current Vice Chancellor, he was a student of University of Nairobi when the university was young. But he's a renowned researcher. He is a renowned leader. Look at the founders, professors who actually pioneered kidney surgery and even the heart surgery, open heart surgery. They were actually the pioneer students in their field. I've seen how you recited poems, what you said here today, and I know you are made of what the future professors are going to be. Keep it up. Make sure you keep the name of Koitaleel Samoei flying up. To us as the leadership, we shall give the requisite support that you need. I know the local community, and I want to talk on their behalf, that now the university is here today. Let us ensure that we make the neighboring institution, Mwaso, Mosoriot Center, Kapsabet, Eldoret. These are the institutions that are going to grow as a result of this university, and more specifically, Mosoriot. It is upon us as a community now. I heard what the vice chancellor, the principal said. This university can only house 70 students. 70. And I know very well, with the establishment of labs and even other learning institutions here, next year we'll have over 500 students. We'll be over 1,000 here. So we as a community, we have a role to play. We must build PPPs, hostels, is it? We must ensure that we have modern supermarkets here. We must ensure that we have a modern hardware. And we should be able to provide, you know, this is the new generation students. We must have very good boutiques here. Nanisikiza? Watu wa Mosoriot. Biashara inakuja. Na kuna vitu vingi tunataka tufanye ili hawa wanafunzi wetu, watoto wetu, waweze kuishi na kukaa kama wanafunzi wa university. If you don't have a good barber shop, a very good boutique for our young daughters, even a very good supermarket, there are certain things that we need now so that we up the game. Na ya pili, let us build enough hostels. You have a market already. And I think now it is honors on you to put the money in your pocket. Mnaamua kuweka pesa mfuko au mnakataa? Yes? I know the leadership is, watu ya Mosoriot wako hapa. Make sure you build enough hostels, all the facilities that are required. Lastly, I want to ask the university leadership and management, and we are mentored by University of Nairobi. let us keep the standards of the University of Nairobi, both in teaching, both in scholarly work, and even infrastructural work. I've just seen the pavements long since I was here. I've seen a number of facilities. Even if they are humble facilities, let them have the quality and the standards of a university. And I've seen them, and I want to appreciate the good work. Keep that particular good spirit so that we make sure Koitaleel is going to be the best university in this region. Lastly, this is COVID time. And I think Professor, his remarks talked about, let us keep social distance. COVID is real, wanafunzi. Cheat you that COVID, you'll want to hear it elsewhere. No, it is here. And now schools, colleges, and universities are opening up. We must fight it and ensure that these institutions remain open for now and in the future. And for them to remain open and for us to continue interacting, face-to-face learning, we must ensure that we follow COVID principles. Sanitize, wash, keep distance, and know very well that COVID is there. In the event that you suspect, you must take instant or fast medical attention so that we don't lose anyone. So for that, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you, Professor. Asanteni sana. You will allow me because I have another function. I'll rush immediately after this. But know very well that you have my total support for the good work, Professor. I'm very proud of you. Asante sana. So let me take this time to welcome our governor, that is the deputy governor, so that he'll take over. Asanteni sana. Mpigie makofi tafadhali alipokuja. Asante.
Thank you so much, our area member of parliament for Tinderet constituency. Our guest of honor, sir, Professor Stephen Kiama, chairman of council for Koitaleel Samoei University College, the principal, Professor Gideon Misoi and your team, our area member of parliament, the county commissioner's office, professors and the teaching fraternity, students of KSUC, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning again. Koitaleel Samoei University College, hoye! We are grateful that we are living in such a time as this. And guest of honor, sir, on behalf of His Excellency Governor Stephen Sang, feel most welcome to Nandi County. Once again, karibu nyumbani. We are excited to have you here. We have longed for you to visit, and we are happy that finally God has opened a way for you to visit with us and to be our chief guest today to encourage our first years. On behalf of His Excellency Governor Sang, I want to say we are proud of this institution. We are happy to be part of the journey. Every step of the way, we are with you. We are really honored that out of the many counties, University of Nairobi decided or accepted to mentor a university in Nandi County. My colleague, Mheshimiwa Meli, has already indicated that for us as an administration, for us as a leadership in Nandi, we are very clear in our mind that we would want to have the DNA of University of Nairobi. And the commitment that has been made, not only by the county government, but also by the elected members of parliament, the senator and the women rep of this county. The commitment that we have made is that we will walk this journey together with KSUC. The other commitment that we have made through a memorandum of understanding between the county government of Nandi and the University of Nairobi is that the county government of Nandi is going to facilitate the establishment of the University of Koitaleel Samoei. Part of our work as a county government is to ensure that there's going to be enough land to run the programs that are run by our mentoring university, University of Nairobi. Chief guest, I'm happy to announce to you that as we speak, so far out of the 6 sub-counties that we have in Nandi County, so far we have commitment from 4. And we are in discussions with the other 2, and hopefully by December we shall have a word to tell you that we are ready for a 6th collegiate university college in Nandi. We know that because we exist as a university college, when we establish those other centers, there will be campuses. We have identified courses that we think we can run away with that are offered by the mentoring university, and we are excited that even as we establish this university, at this stage, we are still being mentored by your teaching fraternity. The professors, the lecturers from Nairobi University are teaching at KSUC. That way, we can be sure that the DNA of University of Nairobi is here with us. For the last 2 occasions, last year when we received our first years, we are happy that the acting principal, Professor Gideon, saw it fit to welcome us to be part of the journey. We want to assure you, Professor Gideon, we are happy. We support you 100%. We want to walk this journey. We want to journey with your students and be of help where we can, and be able to encourage and to mentor where we can. I remember the area member of parliament, Dr. Wilson Kogo, even offered part of his time to teach the courses for free. So it's up to you to identify what course to give to Dr. Wilson Kogo. Guest of honor, sir, I'm a deputy governor, but I have a background in chemistry. I'm a PhD in analytical chemistry. Before going into politics, I was teaching at the University of Eldoret, and I exited at the level of senior lecturer. I am hoping that when my time comes to an end serving the people of Nandi as deputy governor, I can come back and teach at Koitaleel Samoei University. What am I saying? I'm looking forward to you establishing a school of science in Koitaleel Samoei University College, so that those of us with our science background can find somewhere to come and serve and be able to add value to the student community here at Koitaleel Samoei University College. Our first-year students, allow me on behalf of His Excellency to welcome you to this county. I want to assure you that this is the right place to be in. We are in the source of champions and the home of Eliud Kipchoge, who says, no human is limited. There is a lot of potential. Allow us to encourage you to maximize your time in Nandi County, maximize your time at KSUC. In each one of us, there is a seed of greatness. And our desire and encouragement is, do not allow the 4 years that you will be here go to waste. Some time back, I was gracing an NDR party for student leaders in one of our universities. And one of our students, who was in 4th year then, stood up and said, the only difference between the day I entered through that gate to this university and now is that I have just grown older. I want to ask that we be conscious of why we have come, so that we do not have that kind of mindset by the time we exit the university. And I want to encourage each one of us that there is a lot to learn every day, so that you're not just growing in age, but you're growing in knowledge, you're growing in understanding, you're growing in stature, you're growing in influence as well. Because all of us have come into this world with a message from our Creator. And the message that you have come to deliver is different from the message that Dr. Yulita has come to deliver. Do not allow yourself to be a copycat. Do not allow yourself to be somebody else. Be you. And let God help you to identify what He has deposited in you and I. And let us exploit that so that at the end of life, when we exit the stage of life, we will have added value, we will have made a difference, we will have delivered the message that we came with from our Creator. Today, we celebrate the coming of our second-year students. Our first-year students who in our that is our second year of the existence of the University College. We are also aware, as a leadership chief guest, that Koitaleel Samoei University College is operating under a letter of interim authority. I want to assure you that we are working very closely with our acting principal, Professor Gideon Misoi, to ensure that when that time comes to apply for charter, we shall actually be very ready to stand alone, because you have held our hand, you have given us a strong foundation, and we are very excited. We do not take it for granted. Not that we are in a hurry to go, but because we know that we can take advantage of the wealth that exists in the University of Nairobi to lay a good foundation and a culture for Koitaleel Samoei University. Since I got into politics, I've realized I speak a lot. And now I want to control myself and say, let me say that for today, but I want to wish each one of you great success. May God bless you. May you experience His love even as you go through this part of your life. As you're growing up, this is a stage in life that all of us have to go through. But let us be open-minded and let us recognize that a lot of what you become depends on how you are willing to interact with your environment, to interact with the materials that are presented before you, and to be able to learn. We live in a world that is full of information, and we're living in the information age. Let us not wait to be spoon-fed. You are in the university. It means you are able to find knowledge for yourself. You're able to actually draw conclusions. You're able to guide certain direction of your life. May God bless you, and may He meet each one of you at your very point of need. We want to thank the church for standing with this institution. And I know we have our chaplain, Abraham Koech. While on my way to this place, I got a call from the bishop of the AIC Church, Bishop Patrice Chumba. He asked me to send his love to you. He wishes you well. He would have been here, but he's not feeling too well. We ask that you remember him in your prayers. Lastly, we want to honor the family of Koitaleel Samoei. Thank you for allowing us to use the name of your son to honor, because one of the things that we recognize as a leadership in this part of the world is that Koitaleel Samoei is not just a regional leader. He is a global leader. He is a legend, and we are proud of him. We are ready to immortalize him. We are ready to honor and respect him in every way. God bless you. Thank you so much. Allow me now to welcome the chairman of council, Professor Ngala, a very humble man, but has a great vision for this university. Karibu sana.
Asante mheshimiwa. First, let me observe all the protocols first and recognize the representative of the governor, Yulita Cheriot, the deputy governor, and Nairobi, Professor Stephen Kiam, in for Tinderet, well, difficult sometimes. I want to take this opportunity as well and recognize the DCC and his team, and also the teaching and non-teaching staff of KSUC, all undergraduate and postgraduate students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Habari zenu. On behalf of council, I wish to welcome you all on this official occasion where once again we are receiving a new cohort of first years for the 2021 academic year to Koitaleel Samoei University College. I take this earliest opportunity to congratulate the new students for having secured a university place, and secondly, for having made KSUC a destination of choice in pursuing their individual academic goals. We recognize the tremendous work, the tremendous hard work you have put in your studies to be able to earn grades that made you eligible for admission. I want to assure you, you have joined a premier university in the making that nurtures talent for sustainable development. KSUC puts the student at the center of everything that it does. Your experience here and your success is important to each and every member of staff who works here. Your arrival at this institution marks a new chapter in the story of your life. Is a bit different. The preceding chapters were largely written for you by others, your parents, your guardians, families, teachers, and the like. Now you'll be the principal authors of the next chapter of your lives. You have the opportunity to determine the direction, the plot, and the tempo of your stories. I want to ask you to take that opportunity with both hands and ensure that your stories end in great success. As you may be aware, KSUC is a relatively new institution which is being mentored by the University of Nairobi. Therefore, your arrival here is a milestone in its development. In the academic year 2019-2020, we admitted, as you heard from the principal, 55 undergraduate students. Today, we have admitted more than 200 in our two schools, namely of business and education. Importantly, the college is making a steady growth towards being granted a charter, which for us, it will be an academic license towards a premier university. Towards this dream, nothing will happen by accident. KSUC has a strategic plan that charts its trajectory into 2024, when the university would have grown into a collegiate type of institution. During the previous and the current plan period, our focus has been on renovating the available infrastructure at Mosoriot campus to accommodate the learning needs of our current students and also of our future students. However, I am happy to report that construction works have also commenced at Nandi Hills, which is KSUC's main campus, where the main administration and library will be located as we steadily proceed with infrastructural development and acquisition of more land to cater for KSUC's proposed 7 campuses. KSUC will be offering various academic programs with a niche in sports science and sports management, and also agriculture, I should add. We are operating in the environment of world champions here, as you heard Her Excellency the Deputy Governor say. And therefore, I want to tell our students, we have no reason not to be champions. We are happy with the increased student enrollment from 55 to 255. So we want to ask the students to use this time very wisely so that, as it was said here, they can grow. In our 2021 performance contract, the Council has committed, among other deliverables, to steer the University College into developing additional 3 academic programs to the current 2 in order to attract student enrollments. The performance contract will keep us focused so that we achieve the targets that will immensely contribute to the growth of KSUC. We should not lose sight of the COVID-19 pandemic as well, which has presented us with both challenges and opportunities. One of the things that I am personally pleased about with this is that it gives us an opportunity not only to foster, but also to build on online learning infrastructure and also online learning, which, as we move forward, will greatly enhance learning in this institution. We must be ready, therefore, to innovate the way we do things, the way we learn and the way we teach. The way we relate has been redefined, of course, by the pandemic. We must observe here as a community the highest health standards in whatever we do. We have embraced online learning, as I've said, so that we can maintain social distancing, which is one of the mandatory Ministry of Health protocols if we must remain free of COVID-19. Many post-COVID-19 recovery strategies have been put in place for the good of us all. So I want to ask the students and also our staff here, let us abide by all of them. To the students, this can seem as daunting as it is exciting, as challenging as it is empowering. While you are here at KSUC, you will have the opportunity to learn new things, acquire new knowledge, develop new skills, and enhance your personal attributes in profound ways that will equip your life, will equip you for your life after university. At the same time, you'll make new friends who will become your friends for life in certain instances, with whom you will share memories of your KSUC days for many years to come, and possibly also inspire others to come to this place, which at the time I think it would have acquired its complete growth as a center of excellence, as a premier university. But while we may be young, we must also be ready to continue to keep our minds open, our wits sharp, and our cause true. There is a lot to do to keep our schools thriving and our students ready for whatever the future holds. So I therefore urge you to make the best out of your time here at KSUC. Put on your masks, wash your hands all the time, and not for less than 20 seconds. Sanitize and keep social distance. May God bless you and keep all of you safe. Sasa wacha nibadilishe kidogo nizungumze Kiswahili. Manake mkiwa wanafunzi pia hapa lazima mchukue hii nafasi kujifunza lugha tofauti tofauti. Kuna wengine wenu mmetoka sehemu tofauti tofauti za nchi hii. Hichi ni chuo cha kitaifa. Kwa hivyo chukueni muda mjifunze lugha ya Kinandi. Wakati mkiwa hapa mjifundishe kuongea kama wenyeji. Na pia Kiswahili chenu mkiimarishe ili kusudi mpate kuongea na watu kutoka sehemu yoyote katika taifa hili. Lakini wacha nisiendelee sana, wacha nimkaribishe mgeni wetu wa heshima ambayo ni furaha yangu kumkaribisha Vice Chancellor University of Nairobi, Professor Stephen Kiama. Karibu. Karibu.
notice. Yeah? Good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm very happy to see all of you. You may be seated as we continue. It is said somewhere that you can never get lost if you don't know where you are going. I was to say that I'm one of the witnesses that the Nandi County community, they know exactly where they are going. And they started off this issue of the university quite a while ago. And I want really to appreciate all those great minds that have spoken here, including the Deputy Governor, said our regards to the Governor Sang. I want to acknowledge the Koitaleel Samoei family, yeah? And also want to acknowledge the members of parliament, including my friend Mary. And also the chair of council, who has been very, very dedicated. Since this council was constituted, we have met several times. He comes very early in the morning, and he said, I must see you tomorrow for this matter. And we are able to meet and discuss. And you can see really the level of commitment. And obviously the principal, Gideon Misoi, who is from the University of Nairobi. Yeah. I must, on the onset, appreciate the entire community of Koitaleel Samoei University College, including the academic members of staff and the students. Because when the COVID hit, when the COVID-19 visited us, like a thief in the night, many people scattered. They went to their houses and left completely. And I remember that time at the University of Nairobi, I used to report every day, but there were very few people, even in the Great Court, which is the center of freedom and democracy. Yeah. And they just disappeared. And when we started saying that we need to do something, some of them were wondering how. I must state from the beginning that really the university is about academia. The university is about quality teaching and learning, and the generation and dissemination of knowledge. You can have all these beautiful buildings, but if you don't have quality academia like you have here, if you don't have quality syllabus or curricula, then after you graduate, we don't know where you go because people will be saying, oh, you came from there. I want to mention one of the oldest universities in Poland, which is found in Krakow. It's called Jagiellonian University. I think this university must be now over 700 years. And one time, Hitler asked that his officials will be addressing all professors from that university. The professors gathered, and after the gathering, all those who were there were put into lorries and into gas chambers. Those who remained started what is normally referred to as underground universities. In my view, this threat of COVID has shown that you, the students, and the faculty cannot be scattered. I salute you. I salute you, all of you. Now, I started by talking about the Nadi community. The Nadi community envisioned our university. They saw a university that is great. A university that is transformative. And first, a university which is not just about degrees, it's about the impact it brings along in the community. For this, they choose to work with the University of Nairobi. Many of you perhaps are aware that University of Nairobi has mentored other constituent colleges. We have mentored the TUC, the Technical University College, Kenyatta University. We have mentored the Southeastern University. Just a minute. And generally, I think most of the universities have been mentored by University of Nairobi, either directly or as children or as grad children. I think the only university that escaped this, but not that much, is Moi University. Because University of Nairobi, Moi University was a graft. Moi University, the leadership came to the University of Nairobi, picked the teachers who are teaching forestry, and brought them to Moi University, and initially they were teaching in tents. Yeah. So that, we can say it's a graft. But still, the source is University of Nairobi. Yeah. So I wanted to emphasize that this community who choose directly to work with the University of Nairobi, we will not let you down. When the issue of the university came about, I was asked by the Vice Chancellor then, Professor George Mangoha, to come and meet the Council for University Education. And I took them loud in the secondary school of Koitaleel Samoei University, where we wanted to set the university, led then by Professor Some. And we had a very vibrant team from the community, led by Mr. Jani Mutai. And Jani Mutai had beautiful drawings of how the university will look like, how the curriculum will look like, how the staff will be shared out, how the numbers will increase year by year, and how much money the university will bring. But the commission was not that impressed. Because the commission asked, where is your library? Where are your teachers? Where are your ICT facilities? Which curricula do you want to start with? And do you have the thematic heads? The commission just came to the core that their university is about the quality of the academic. I want to just perhaps share with you what university structure of University of Nairobi is. The University of Nairobi, for academic purpose, is governed by Senate. The Koitaleel Samoei University does not have a Senate. So what it has is what we call a college academic board chaired by Gideon Misoi. And for anything, including the teachers he has to hire, the examination he has to set, the quality of the examiners have to come back to the University of Nairobi, including the timetable. And you heard him say that. So you, for all intent and purposes, you are students of University of Nairobi. University of Nairobi has now only one constituent college, which is Koitaleel Samoei University College. And then it has 6 other colleges, which is College of Agriculture and Veteran Sciences, College of Health Sciences, College of Biological and Physical Sciences, College of Education, College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and the College of Agriculture and Veteran Sciences. I hope I mentioned also the College of Architecture and Engineering. Now, the other college we have is the Koitaleel Samoei University College, which is termed as a constituent college because it has the only governance structure it has, which it does not depend directly on the University of Nairobi, but as University of Nairobi are members, is the council, which is chaired by Professor Leslie Gara. So you need to know that you are University of Nairobi students. And therefore, when I address you here, I address you as my students. So when you introduce yourself as students of University of Nairobi, but Koitaleel Samoei, because University College is a college. That's why you heard them saying that they have a letter of interim authority. I think the deputy governor said this. They are looking forward to get a charter. When you get a charter is when you are truly a university. That's when you are allowed to award degrees. Yeah. So I hope that, as you are saying, you move very quickly. If you don't move very quickly, these students, we are going to award them degrees. Yes, as University of Nairobi. Because it is Senate that qualifies students after it examines them and presents them to the Chancellor of the University of Nairobi or any other university. In the case for University of Nairobi, the Chancellor is Dr. Fiju Ratansi, your Chancellor. And I am the Vice, I'm the Deputy, if you wish. I'm the Vice Chancellor. You remember the word we talked about, President and the Vice President. Yes. So I'm the Vice. She is the Chancellor. So it is good to know that, because you may be seeing Professor Misoi here and thinking that on matters academic, that he is the last recourse. No. The person who is the last, because in matters of awarding degrees, is the Chancellor of the university who gives you the power to read and write. And in this case is Dr. Fijura Tansi. And I wanted to mention that there is a person who works very closely with him, Brian Auma, who came with us to just see you and later give a report how you are. Brian Auma, yes. So I thought that I should clarify that, because you may just see that we are far, and then you forget that you belong to the University of Nairobi. That time when we came to Nadi, after that we stopped by the shops to just have some refreshments. The people of Nadi Hills, that town, they came surrounding us, and they were very, very happy to know that it is University of Nairobi that is going to mentor you. Why am I saying this? I am calling upon you, as students of University of Nairobi, that you keep the standards of University of Nairobi. The community here has embraced you. I want you to work with the community and interact with them very freely, and even have initiatives that are combined, the community and the University of Nairobi students. You say we are going to plant trees. We are going to do cleaning so that the community begin to see who you are and the value you bring here and the different ways and different approach of teamwork. So that is what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to you hearing in the media and everywhere that this college of University of Nairobi has decided to engage the communities, has decided to work very closely with the community, including the hostels where I live in, that you keep peace there, that they continue, like Mheshimiwa Mary was saying, to put up more hostels for you at a good price, where you don't destroy the property, you take care of the property to allow for you to stay there until you leave, another person to come and enjoy the same facilities. So that is the report I want to be hearing. I want to look at a university. When you do your projects, it's a final year project, or it is a master's project, it's a PhD project, that in the first instance, you consider dealing with the problems in this community. They could be for agriculture, for livestock, for fisheries, for tea farming, or even general economics, and the social activities, including anthropology. You need to integrate with the community and know what problems do they have. Then you solve those problems. I was in a meeting recently somewhere, and then I was asked to comment to do with the universities in East Africa, because they are all about 50 years now, including University of Nairobi. And I posed this question: who would care if University of Nairobi was closed? Who would care if Makerere University was closed? Who would care if Koitaleel Samoei University was closed? Is it that some people will say now we are getting fewer numbers? Is it that some people would say that now jobs are lost? Universities were not established for jobs. They were not established for access alone. They were established for generation of knowledge and to adhere and empower the community. So the community here, if they hear that Professor Misoyi is closing this university, they need to ask, who is going to do those things those students were doing here? They are the ones who will stand firm and say that this university, which we have nurtured, we have protected, we have given our best, the niche that will be identified with 50 years to come from now, that they will say that Koitaleel Samoei University students brought value to us. They made our life better. You know, universities, you'll find even you're taught, they begin always with the issue of data. Even if you go to do projects, you collect data. But data is meaningless if you cannot transform data into information. So you can hear or you can pick a noise of a cow, or a cat mowing, and then you say, oh, that is a cat. So that is data. You can say it is loud or low voice or this. To information that perhaps you can tell that cat, that cow, when it produces that noise, it is because it is hungry. It is because it does not have water. It is because it has not been milked. That is translating data to information. But the most important is integrating information to generate knowledge into what response do you need to take? Because you can say, oh yeah, it was not fed, that is why. But that is not enough. That need to prompt you. So I want this university here to be able to move from data to information and to move to knowledge. And in knowledge, when it epitomizes, it becomes wisdom. And then you can say that that community is wise community. The community of Nadi Hills is a wiser community because this constituent college is here. That is what we want to hear. That they are getting issues of food security, they have been able to address those issues of how to manage their maize and their aflatoxin, the issue of management of water, and the issue of soil and the acidity and all those issues, the issue of business, all those issues that they say, really this community of Koitaleel Samoei College brought knowledge here, and as a result, we are wiser. We are wiser. So that is what I want to leave with you this afternoon. That I want this community to be wiser because you are here. I want to congratulate you for getting a space to be admitted at Koitaleel Samoei College, Constituent College of University of Nairobi. Congratulations again, and God bless you.
May we appreciate our Vice Chancellor once more. Thank you very much. We now move to the next stage. Where is our reverend? Special prayers for our first-year students, led by our chaplain.
Our chief guest for today, Professor Stephen Kiama, who is the Vice Chancellor, University of Nairobi, the chairman of the council, Professor Ngala, our Deputy Governor, Dr. Yulita Cheruyot, the Principal of KSUC, Professor Gideon Misoi, members of Parliament. We have Mr. Meli, Honorable Meli, and all protocol observed. Let me take this opportunity to greet all of us. Praise the name of the Lord. How are you? I've been given this opportunity to give a short encouragement from God's word and a prayer of dedication to our first year students, students who have joined us this year. I'm going to read a passage from the book of Acts of the Apostles, from where we will get the exhortation. Acts chapter 7, verse number 22. Let me begin from verse number 20. The Bible tells us, at that time Moses was born, and he was no ordinary child. For 3 months he was cared for by his family. Then he was placed outside. Pharaoh's daughter took him and brought him up as her own son. Moses was educated in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was powerful in speech and action. This afternoon, I would like to talk about people who made a positive impact in their communities because of education based on the scriptures. The first person that I would like to talk about here is this one who is mentioned in verse number 22 of chapter 7 of Acts of the Apostles, and this is Moses. The Bible tells us Moses was educated in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was powerful in speech and action. we realize from the scriptures and even from history that Egypt was well known during those days in terms of education. Flavius Josephus, who was an historian during the days of Jesus, tells us that during those days, in the early times, Egypt was well known in terms of philosophy, arithmetics, science, and history. And we believe that when Moses was young, at that time, he was trained and he received this education. We are told that people from Greece, including the great philosophers of Greece, went to Egypt to get a learning on philosophy. And here we are told that Moses received this education. And the Bible tells us, as a result of his education, he was powerful in speech and in action. It is our prayer that our students who have joined us this year, you will also be powerful as Moses was. We are told he was powerful in speech and in action. I believe that through his education, Moses was able to put into practice, and that education was helpful to him, especially as he led the children of Israel from the land of Egypt to Canaan. So in his leadership, he put into practice what he learned in his education. We are told again, as we read the scriptures, we realize that the first 5 books of the Bible were written by Moses. I believe that he put into practice what he learned in school, especially in writing these first 5 books of the Bible. And with the divine enablement from God, he was able to put into writing the first 5 books of the Bible. Without his writings, we would not have known the origin of man and what became of man, especially in terms of his fall to sin and the consequences of sin. Therefore, his